Hello, welcome back to another Physical Sciences 3 lecture. Last time we've been looking at metals and reactions of metals and how they bond together with other metals. But obviously there's lots of other things other than metals, and we're going to start by defining what a chemical compound is. So it is a pure chemical substance consisting of two or more different elements. For example, H2O, everyone knows that's water. And most people these days are familiar with CO2 as well, which is carbon dioxide. Okay, so those are both non-metals, and they have chemical bonds as well. Okay, so when two or more atoms combine chemically, they are said to have formed chemical bonds via a chemical change. The branch of chemistry that investigates the process is called chemical bonding. When atoms bond together, they do so by the way of their respective electron clouds coming together and overlapping, resulting in there being a rearrangement in the locations of the outermost valence electrons. So we're looking at valence electrons again. They're very important for chemical reactions, of course. So generally, atoms chemically combined by one of two electron change processes. So the simultaneous loss and gain of electrons, described as ionic bonding, and combining atoms sharing electrons, described as covalent bonding. Okay, I'm going to have a look at both of them. As a convenient general rule, you can usually distinguish between these two main types of chemical bonding by the following. Ionic bonding occurs when metals chemically combine with nonmetals. Okay, and covalent bonding occurs when nonmetals chemically combine with nonmetals, so generally speaking. Names and formulae for compounds. Naming and formulae for ionic compounds. Okay, so ionic compounds are not molecules. They are made up of positive ions, which are usually, but not always, a metal, called cations, and negative ions, a non-metal or combination of non-metals, called anions. The positive ion is named first, and the negative ion comes next. The charges on the ions are balanced until a net charge of 0 is obtained. Here we have, we're in a different kind of rule. Here we call things acids when they have a positive H plus as an ion. And the naming is slightly different. So this one is sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, and nitric acid. And we'll have a look at those in more detail a bit later on. Names and formulas for the ions encountered in this subject are listed in the information booklet or your information sheet. Example. So, name the compound with the formula CuSO4. The Cu2 plus ion is called copper, and the SO4 2 minus ion is called a sulfate ion. The name of the CuSO4 is therefore copper sulfate, so pretty simple. Name the compound with the formula Na2CO3. Okay, so if we look on our formula sheet, we'll see that Na is sodium. Sodium. And it has a charge of +1. And we'll see that CO3 is called carbonate, which means it must have since there's two sodiums, it must have a 2 minus charge. And we'll see that on the formula sheet as well. So this one is then therefore called sodium carbonate. All right. A few more examples here, and I think I'll do these examples in the next video.